This was a good music related question. What if Lionel Richie had been produced by Quincy Jones? Would he have had the same results as Michael Jackson? What do I think? Well, Lionel Richie did work with Greg Gaines, who was a longtime collaborator with Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones. So that's one check. David Foster, who also worked with Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson, that's another check. And that was mainly on Lionel's second record, even though that was for the only one, not the obvious hits. Um, it'd have been interesting because Barry Gordy was a music man, and he always went over the songs that Lionel submitted, so he had a good track record of ears on Lionel Richie. So, um, it would have been interesting how that goes down. That'd have been interesting. I think that would have. I think there would obviously there's Lionel Richie's songwriting which would have been not tampered with because songs like "You Are" now the obvious song that would have made the Lionel Richie Quincy Jones thing jump off is would have been Love Will Find a Way. That one is like one of the best songs that Quincy Jones and Rod Temperton weren't part of. So that would have definitely been a keeper. Running with the Night with the Steve Lukather guitar parts, who did work with Michael Jackson. They did the Human Nature Cats, and when they worked on some of the tracks on Thriller, especially with Human Nature and all that. That would have been interesting. Sheila connection. There was a lot of connections, but then we get into the songs. Do they make the cut? Hello would have made the cut. Certain things with acoustics. Penny Lover would have been interesting. Stuck on You. I don't know. I don't know if Quincy would have been cool with the country aspects of Lionel. Stuck on You could have been a real interesting. I don't know. The title track to Running with the Night, that would have been on. Can't Slow Down had a nice rhythmic groove. I think been interesting if what well Quincy would have added parts or not. That'd have been interesting. All Night Long, which was definitely inspired by Wanna Be Starting Something, there would have been nods. Could it have pulled it off? And what Quincy had wanted him to do a duet, would he push an agenda? Because they definitely, the thing about it is Lionel Richie and James Anthony Carmichael had already had a strong commercial base to what they were doing. But it would have been interesting how it would have came to fruition had that came about. Now they did collaborate on We Are the World. Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie co-wrote that, and Quincy Jones produced it for USA for Africa. But what would this have been like for a whole album? It depends. If I'm looking at some of the grooves, some of the songs, it'd have been interesting. What would have been able to? Because I'm sure Carol Bayer Sager, and I'm sure with with Lionel, there's a lot of different directions you could go in. It's a lot of harmonious country R&B pop. If you use, I'll be wondering if Quincy would have used some of the Ray Charles aspects of Lionel and brought that to him. It'd have been interesting. We'll never know what that may have been like a full album, but during his prime and his peak, especially between Can't Slow Down, self-titled album, and the Dance on the Ceiling projects, what would it have hit? I think Quincy and Lionel would have made an interesting musical pairing. But I would have probably wondered, like, if he'd have had Lionel doing more the James Ingram to Patty Austin thing, would have been more duets with Patty Austin, and how much the Rod Temperton thing. So it would have made an interesting project if they had to work together. I could have seen it working, especially if you bring in the James Ingram aspect, the Patty Austin aspect, the Rod Temperton, and with the Jerry Hay and the gang, the Sea Wind gang for the horn parts. Could have been interesting. But tell me what you think. Wonder what if a Lionel Richie album been produced by Quincy Jones, how might it have turned out? What do you think? Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like, and hit that membership because when you do, requests like this come true. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.